Hey, what's going on, everyone? Christian, front to back vinyl, back with recent vinyl and CD pickups. Lately, um, I've been buying CDs a lot more lately. I'm going to be doing a room tour pretty soon. I did put together and install a big CD rack where I've been showing all these CDs I had in storage. So I have this big CD rack, all filled. I mean, I could probably buy another one and fill it up. A lot of stuff. Anyway, I have one vinyl record, and the rest are all CDs that I've purchased since the last video. These are not ones that were in storage. These are ones that I actually went out and bought within the last month or so. So let me get to the vinyl first. This one, super happy to have this. This is the Tone Poet Blue Note release of Frank Sinatra in the Wee Small Hours. This just came out last Friday, I think. So anyway, I do have an OG copy, but in this is a mono press. I think mine's mono as well. When you go with this Capitol stuff, Frank Sinatra mono is the way to go because they kind of did some of that fake stereo stuff, duophonic, which really sounds like crap. But anyway, look at that cool sticker, Blue Note Tone Poet series, direct from analog tape, mastered by Kevin Gray, a Coherent Audio, Joe Harley, reissue supervised. So I'm really hoping they do a lot more of his Capitol um, catalog because if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know I lost a lot of my Frank Sinatra records to a roof leak. I live on the top floor, so soon after I moved in, a roof leak, and it ruined a lot of my Frank Sinatra records. So I would love these to be coming out on a consistent basis, so I'll buy these. As far as rebuying his Capitol stuff, I would love that. That'd be so great. Let me show you the back cover. Really cool. And the original album did not have a gatefold, but this one has a very cool gatefold. It's got great photos of Frank in the studio recording, and of course, there's some. I'm not sure if that was the original notes from the original record or not, but I played it and it's dead quiet. Really beautiful. And it comes in an RTI inner sleeve. And they recreated that original Capitol logo. Their early Capitol stuff, Sinatra, was sort of a dark grayish color. But yeah, 180 gram, totally flat, no worries about warpage. Very mellow record. This is a record you want to play late at night, on the weekends, with your favorite cocktail. And so yeah, beautiful album. Um, I think it's almost considered a concept record by some. In the wee small hours of the mornings, the first song sort of sets the tone for the whole album. Mood Indigo. Um, yeah, really, really great record. I don't want to go through every track, but yeah, really, really happy to have this. I played it. I think I just lightly brushed it, cleaned the stylus, and I think once or twice I heard a little tick, but I haven't run it through an ultrasonic cleaner yet. But yeah, super happy to have this. I pre-ordered it as soon as I heard about it, So we'll see. This is the first time that Blue Note, uh, Tone Poet, whatever, has released a vocalist. I think they're strictly a jazz label. I don't really have, I'm not really a jazz guy, Blue Note, but I know that this is the first one they've released, and I hope this is a trend that they continue. So super happy to have that. Love you, Frank. Okay, next up are some CDs. Most of this stuff is stuff that I do have on vinyl, but either my pressings are Snap Crackle Pop and loud, and I just wanted a clean CD copy. And in many cases, these CDs have bonus tracks, and that's a big plus. So this is the first one I got. This is Neil Young, After the Gold Rush. This is the 50th anniversary edition, which does have two outtakes. Wandering. I think it's one outtake. I think they said there were two outtakes on the 50th anniversary, but anyway, it does have an acoustic demo for Wandering. Really cool, sort of. I don't know what you call these. They sort of recreate the vinyl gatefold, and it's on the Reprise Gold label there, and sound is incredible on this. Really happy to have this. Next up, this is another one I just got in the mail yesterday. This is one I've owned on vinyl for 30 years, but I wanted to get this. This is Paul Simon, Hearts and Bones. This is a record that he put out in the 80s. This was the first album he put out after One Trick Pony. Definitely has 80s production to it. The reason I got this is it has, you can see at the bottom here, it's got all these bonus tracks, all acoustic guitar, original acoustic demos. That's worth the price just to get it for that. Most of this record has a lot of 80s production to it. You could just tell. Definitely has that 80s production to it. But these bonus tracks at the end is just Paul and acoustic guitar. No embellishment, just him and a guitar. And I tell you, these demos are just breathtaking, really beautiful. Especially, let me see, Train in the Distance, Renee and Georgette Magritte with her dog after the war, and the late great Johnny Ace. If you don't have the this version with the bonus tracks on it, go get it or stream it if it's available. But it's not the greatest album in the world. In fact, I saw Paul Simon at concert around this time. He did a solo tour, just him and a guitar, no band backing him up or anything. So I got to see him, just him and acoustic guitar. So these demos I talked about, that's how the whole show was. It was just brilliant. I even got to shake his hand. During an encore when he came out, he was going around shaking hands to everyone in the front row. So I jumped out of my seat. I was like in the fifth row, and I jumped up and I put my hand out, and he shook it. So I think it was my handshake that gave him the inspiration to do Graceland, which came out right after that. I don't know if that happened or not, but it's a nice thought. Okay, this one I just bought yesterday. I was at Walmart looking at the CDs, the vinyl, looking for the new Cheap Trick album, which they only had on CD, but I'm trying to get the vinyl. I want to get the indie exclusive vinyl. But anyway, while I was at Walmart, I bought Kenny Rogers 21 number ones. Love Kenny Rogers. I do have his greatest hits on vinyl. I think I have I have a greatest hits on vinyl, and then I have The Gambler. Well, this has all his best stuff on there. The Gambler, Through the Years, Lady, Lucille, We've Got Tonight with Sheena Easton, Islands in the Stream with Dolly Parton, and it was like $7. I mean, still sealed, you know. So I was like, why not? Okay, another reason I'm really getting into CDs is there's lots of 80s, 90s hair metal, hard rock stuff that I just simply cannot find on vinyl. So I'm buying them on CD. Spread Eagle. This is Japanese pressing. I've seen a bunch of people in the VC with this record on vinyl, and damn, I can't find it to save my life. But I'll show you the back cover. You know, I wanted to show you. It does have the Japanese liner notes, and I did keep the Obi strips. So really great album, really enjoyable. Super happy to have this in the collection. If you're a fan of this band, Spread Eagle, and you can recommend some of their other catalog, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, Spread Eagle's debut, killer stuff. Next, you know, I'm a huge Paul McCartney Beatles fan, and I wasn't gonna buy this when I first heard about it. So I'm like, the vinyl's super expensive, and it's like 3 LPs, and it's all music I already have. So I thought I'll just buy the CD. This is the new Wings. This is on 2 CDs, and curated by Paul McCartney himself. And they they put it all on 2 CDs, and all the songs curated, put together, picked by Paul himself. And I tell you, it flows really well, and the sound is as good as you could expect. And it goes all the way from, you know, from the Wildlife album all the way up to Back to the Egg and Mull of Kintyre, the single, and um, comes with a booklet, which I'm not going to bother opening up, but it does have this really nice collage of photos of the band throughout the years. But I think I got this $25 or something off Amazon, and I'm really glad I got it, because on CD I can deal with that, the price. On vinyl, the 3 vinyl set is way more expensive, and you know. Next up, me being a Kiss fan, and I see this CD all over the place, and I had to get it. This is Badlands with Mr. Eric Singer on drums and Jakey Lee on the guitar. And I know they put out one other album, but I don't know if it's, let me know if it's worth picking up. I think they only put out the 2 records, but really good. Sort of reminds me kind of Cinderella, sort of that heavy rock, bluesy kind of a feel to it. So yeah, really happy to have this. You know, this and Spread Eagle, super happy to have that. Oh, speaking of records that I cannot find on vinyl to save my life, Tora Tora, Surprise Attack. This one is a Japanese pressing that came out in 2020, I think. They reissued it on CD only in Japan. I don't want to pull this apart, but it does have an Obi. I do have the Obi strip and the Japanese insert. Again, really good stuff. I've seen a bunch of people, JC, you know, the flip side, I've seen that in his collection. I think Aaron Mutha Alamar showed it in his collection, but really happy to have this on CD. You know, who knows? Maybe one day they'll release it on vinyl, you know, colored vinyl or something. But until now, I got this for a fairly reasonable price. Let me see. Okay, the rest of these are all Journey. I'm a huge Journey guy. Always been. I was in their fan club from Evolution all the way up to Raised on Radio. I think when Raised on Radio came out, I left the fan club. Good. I was kind of pissed off that Journey became Neil Sean, Steve Perry, and Jonathan Cain, and they fired Ross Valerie and Steve Smith and brought in Randy Jackson on, Journey. But anyway, I've been a huge Journey fan. I've seen them in concert 3 times, all with Steve Perry, Greg Raleigh era. But anyway, we're going to get into that. But just some of these early albums, some stuff I wanted to get. Their very first album, Journey. This is the very first one. I think 1970. God, I can't see. 74, 75, 76. I forget. That's the thing about CDs I still don't care for is the very small font, the very small lettering. It's very hard to read. But this is their first album. I spun this last night, and it's a great record. Definitely has a fusion rock feel to it. There's some instrumentals in here. Of a Lifetime, the first song, that's a killer song. One of their standout tracks from the pre-Steve Perry era. This is the only album that has, let me see if I can find him, George Tinkner on guitar. He was the extra guitar player they had just for this record, and he was only on the one record. But he was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when Journey got inducted. He did come out of hibernation and came out. But yeah, really great record. Topaz, To Play Some Music, Cahotek, Mystery Mountain. Yeah, really great stuff. Of course, I had get the next one, Look Into the Future. This one I like a lot. On a Saturday Night, She Makes Me Feel Alright. They do a great version of It's All Too Much, the George Harrison song from the Beatles. They do a really cool version of it. It's almost like fusion rock. Really great. Almost sounds like a Santana cover. But anyway, love that cover. It's really trippy, spacey kind of thing. Oops, my phone's going off. Got their next record, Next. This came out right before the next one I'm going to show, Infinity. This is another great record. They're really, this album almost could have had hits on it. Spaceman, the first song, Spaceman. That would have been great for Ace Frehley to have done a cover of that. Journey, Spaceman. Nickel and Dime, Next, Karma. Yeah, really great record. I think this came out in 77. I can read that, 77. Really cool record. Love this album cover. And of course, I just showed briefly Infinity. I have this on a gold CD somewhere. I can't find it. So I wanted to get this. This is from a recently remastered. You'll see it's got this whole piracy thing on the bottom, but it's just the record. And they really did a killer job on the CD and the booklet. I'll show you under the CD. Got a great picture of them in concert. And I have to show you this book. This booklet, man, I wish UHQR would do Infinity. Because, I mean, this is like a desert island record for me. My all-time favorite Journey record. I mean, this booklet is just incredible. Look at these concert shots. You know, concert posters and the Infinity Tour. the tour that lasted an infinity. And Greg Rowley said the never ending tour. But you'll see the tour itinerary. Look at all that. It keeps going. All that. Great photographs. And you'll notice Chicago Infinity Tour. They must have played Chicago 8 times. I would say eight or more times. And killer album. Everyone knows this record, at least people from my generation. I mean, this has lights and feeling that way anytime. Wheel in the Sky. I don't know if I said that. Winds of March. La Do Da. Patiently, which is like the first song that Steve Perry and Neil wrote together, which is beautiful. I got to see them perform that on the Evolution tour. But yeah, really happy to have this. These particular reissues, I have a bunch more on order because they have bonus tracks on them. But those ones haven't arrived yet. So trying to think. Oh yeah, this this is something I want to show. This is a promotional CD for Trial by Fire. It's a little promotional sticker. This is promotional, and this is what I've had for a while. But this is when Steve Perry when Journey sort of broke up and they reunited, and Steve Perry came back. Well, that's the promotional version. This is the one that I just got. See, it's got that whole piracy thing on the bottom. But the cool thing about this is it does have a bonus track on it. I can see it in your eyes. But yeah, pretty good record. I think it did have one. It's got different artwork on the. Let me take the CD out. It's got really cool artwork under the tray. And let me show you. Similar to Infinity, look at the booklet. They really went all out with the booklet and photographs. Journey with the Golden Gate Bridge in the background. Never seen these photos before. So this album did have one big hit on it. Let me see. When You Love a Woman, that was it. I think that was like, I think they may have even won a Grammy for that song. It was probably like one of their biggest hits ever. Sort of really soft adult contemporary. And they were intending to tour off this record, but Steve Perry had a knee injury. I think he was out hiking or something, getting in shape for the tour or something. I forget, whatever. But anyway, they only put out this one record, and then they basically split up, or I think Journey wanted to tour, and Steve wanted them to wait till he got better, and basically said, well, there was a Journey before Steve Perry, there can be one without Steve Perry. And that's what happened. So they've gone through a number of singers. But Steve Perry, he's the man. He'll always be my favorite. You know, I got to see them 3 times. I saw them on Evolution Tour, Outdoor Alpine Valley, I believe it was, in Troy, Wisconsin. And I saw them twice on the Departure Tour. But that's a video for another time. Anyway, that's everything I have right now. Got some more stuff coming. We'll be here soon, but I just wanted to show all this stuff, and everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Weather is definitely warmed up here today. It's in the 60s. have the windows open. Anyway, everyone have a great, safe rest of your weekend. Take care. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thumbs up. Bye.